We want to know how you got started in your career.
My father was a flooring contractor, and I worked with him from the time I was probably about 8 years old. And every summer after probably I was in the 8th, 9th grade, in the summer, he and I would build a house and do everything: plumbing, mechanical, labor, brick, everything. And we get it dried in. What that means is shelled. Sell the house we were in, carry the furniture to the other house, and the inside was not finished. And we would even have sawhorses with a temporary sink on it. And then he and I would finish it in the winter, literally, do the whole process again. And then also, we would go do a house. When I say do a house, we would go sand the floors that morning and then come home and do the house building. So, when I finished high school, I was a jock in high school and played all sports and I always loved to draw. And most of my time as a senior was taking mechanical drawing, industrial arts. I could build anything with my hands. And that came from my father. So, when I couldn't be a jock in college, which I had a scholarship to play football, but I busted my knees outside, I couldn't do that. So I decided to be an architect. We never played football, played everything else. And literally, we started out with hand-me-down helmets from Davidson College, leather, a piece of elastic, and
Leatherheads.
Leatherheads. How long have you been an architect?
Okay, after I finished college, I went to Atlanta. And started work, and after that, I've been not licensed. I couldn't get licensed for 3 years like everybody else, but I've been an architect practicing 55 years.
Wow.
Now, that's broken down into, I worked in Atlanta for 8 years. I left Atlanta on a U-Haul truck. I was 28 years old, came to Charlotte, opened an office with no work. I had a wife and kid. So I practiced then for 35 years and then sold the firm, Clark Patterson, 13 years. In fact, when I first came to Charlotte, you don't know this, I only had enough money to survive for 2 years. And I couldn't get work because everywhere I'd go, they'd say, well, what have you done? Well, I haven't done anything. And so I looked around Charlotte and I decided, okay, what does Charlotte not have that Atlanta has? I've been in Atlanta during its first big growth period. I actually put together a hypothetical office park. It's Woodlawn Green, which you probably don't know. It's a first office park in North South Carolina. And I put together the numbers, what you'd have to borrow to make it happen. And I met Bill White, who had just gone in business with Springs Mills Charter Property. And he heard about me, and that's how I got started. I actually created my own work. Now, you have to put that in perspective. That's been 45, 48 years ago. Some people would say I was unethical in doing that at the time.
Who do you think has been the most influential throughout your life and your career?
First, my father. My father didn't have a high school education, but he was, I wouldn't call him a genius, but he could read. He could read a book on how to wire this building electrically and do it. He was a Renaissance man, and that's how I practice architecture. I was a Renaissance architect. That's why I was not a specialist. I didn't do just healthcare. I didn't just do office building.
On a personal level, we happen to know that you are lucky enough to still have your mother here with you.
Yeah.
I've heard this story before, but for those who haven't, were you actually born on a kitchen table?
Yes. One side, my grandfather, he was a farmer and he built all the caskets in the county and sold caskets. And he was a good mechanic. Of course, they didn't have many cars back then. My other side of the family, they were farmers, my dad's side. And so, I was born right there in my grandparents' house, no lights, no water, no all outhouses. Story is that they thought I was dead because they keep slapping me and I wouldn't say anything. And I guess I was just ornery as hell. Finally, so, my mother obviously did not have an easy delivery. And I'm an only child, and I think that's probably why. My goal when I went in practice was to be better than an average architect. Money was not my motive, not my motivation. Way I was taught in school, if you were not successful in practice yourself, you were basically a failure. That's not the way it's taught today. There were 128 of us started in architecture as freshmen. There were 5 of us that finished in 5 years. There were 19, but they had been in school, out of school, etc. So that's why, I went in practice early. And so the fulfilling thing is I have managed pretty much up until I sold the firm, accomplish that goal, do better than average architecture and win some awards. That was not my major goal, but to do projects on a major scale. I feel good. I've had a great practice. I've had a great time. I've accomplished pretty much what I set out to do.